welcome to my class. This is your online English class for class 12. What we will be doing here, we will be preparing for your board examination, which hopefully is going to be held in the month of March next year, in 2021. So this is your first class for this session, 2020 and 21, the year 2020 to the year 2021, March to March. So here, during the period of 1 year, you will be learning about English. You already know a lot. We will be doing it with the purpose of doing good in the board examinations. All of you want to do good, right? Yes, that's why you are here. We will definitely do good. So your question paper this time, the class 12 question paper, is divided into 4 parts. The first part will be reading section. It will be of 20 marks. The second part will be writing section of 30 marks, and the third part will be a literature section of 30 marks. So you have 80 marks total. That will be your written examination. You have to write, and pen and paper examination. And then 20 marks will be AISSCE, assessment of listening and speaking. Again, I'm repeating, there will be total how many sections? There will be 4 sections. The first section will be reading, 20 marks. The second section will be writing, 30 marks. The third section will be literature, 30 marks. Total 80 marks, 20, 30, 30, 80 marks total. And then the last one, the last section, is AISSCE, assessment of listening and speaking, of 20 marks. And you have 2 textbooks. The books are, these are the 2 textbooks, Flamingo and Vistas. Flamingo and Vistas. See, Flamingo and Vistas, these are the 2 textbooks that we'll be doing in the course of 1 year. This textbook, Vistas, is the supplementary textbook. It has 8 lessons. What are the 8 lessons? Let me read out. The 8 lessons are: the 3rd level, the Tiger King, journey to the end of the earth, the enemy, should wizard hit mommy on the face of it, Evans tries an O level, memories of childhood. Memories of childhood has got 2 parts. The last lesson, in the 8th lesson, the cutting of my long hair, we too are human beings. That is your Vistas supplementary book. And this is Flamingo, the main textbook. Flamingo has 8 lessons, and in addition to 8 lessons, it has 6 poems. The 8 lessons here are: the last lesson, that is the first lesson. The last lesson, interestingly, is the first lesson. Yeah, of course, we are going to talk about that later. Lost Spring, Deep Water, The Red Trap, Indigo, Poets and Pancakes, The Interview. The interview has 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. And the last lesson, that is the last chapter. Don't be confused here. See, the name of your first lesson in this book is the last lesson. The number 8 lesson is Going Places. The poems are: My Mother at 66, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, Keeping Quiet, A Thing of Beauty, A Roadside Stand, and the last one, 6th one, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. That's all. So isn't it easy? Yes, of course, it's very easy. Just 16 lessons and 6 poems. We don't have grammar. We have reading section and we have writing section. And most of the things that you have already done in class 11 will again be repeated in class 12. So you have that advantage. What is the advantage? The advantage is that in reading section and writing section, and also in ASL, so reading section is 20 marks, writing section is 30 marks. So that makes it 50 marks, and ASL again 20 marks. So 50, 60, 70, total 70 marks you will have to revise. There is nothing new. You will be revising because you have already done that in class 11. A few things in writing section will be new, so we'll talk about that later in details. But before we begin, I want to tell you something. There are certain points which you need to keep in your mind if you really want to score good marks. These are not at all difficult things to remember. This maybe you all already do, so I'm just repeating. The first thing is, before we go to that, let me show you the writing. See the 3 sections and then the 2 books. So that is your English for class 12, and of course ASL is there of 20 marks, assessment of listening and speaking. Now about the things that you need to do, you need to remember, you need to make a habit of doing things which should naturally come to you without any effort, because you will be doing that throughout the year, and you will have your monthly examinations and the half-yearly examination, the pre-board examinations. So you get get opportunity for a lot of practice. See, number 1 point is you must read all your lessons and poems. There is no shortcut for that. Again, I'm repeating, there is no shortcut for that. You have to read, no other way out. So you have to read your lessons and you have to read your poems. So whenever you get time, do go through your lessons. Of course, you will be doing that in the class, but on your own you can do that, because the lessons are not that difficult. The poems are a bit difficult to understand, but the lessons are easy and interesting. There are many interesting stories in there. If you like reading stories, right? So you have got your stories here, lot many stories, so you can read those stories. The last lesson is an interesting story. The 3rd level is an interesting story. So these are all good stories. You will like. I'm sure you will like when you read. The second point is you must know 4 things for every lesson. 4 things for every lesson. What are these 4 things? I have developed a sort of an acronym for that. TWTCP for the lesson.